I caught my boyfriend in a restaurant with another girl, and he broke up with me. My boyfriend and I are both 21. We dated in high school and then broke up at the end of our senior year. At the beginning of my sophomore year of college, I transferred to the college where my boyfriend studies because I wanted to try and rebuild our relationship. Many months later, my boyfriend agreed to start dating me again. As far as I know, we had no problems in the relationship because he tells me everything. Last weekend we had a serious fight, which caused my boyfriend to leave in the middle of a party. Since then, we barely communicated because we needed time to cool off. Anyway, yesterday I was shopping and saw my boyfriend's car in a restaurant parking lot. I swear, I wasn't thinking anything bad and just wanted to understand what was going on. When I went inside, I saw my boyfriend with another girl. They were sitting at a table and just talking. I have no idea who this girl is or how they know each other. I don't remember everything in detail because I was very upset, but I admit I said some not so pleasant things to my boyfriend because I was emotional. The girl looked scared and left quickly. My boyfriend tried to go after her, but I told him that we, as a couple, needed to talk. He said he brought her to the restaurant and had to make sure she left okay. This upset me because he doesn't like it when I drive with him. I almost burst into tears. In the end, she seemed to call an Uber, and I asked my boyfriend to meet me at my apartment to talk. He arrived before me, and when I pulled up, he said he wouldn't go inside and would stay in the car. Long story short, he was angry with me and said he wanted to break up. I was in shock and said that he's the one cheating, yet he wants to break up with me. He said I was delusional, that it was over between us, and he would send friends to pick up his things from my apartment. Now I feel completely lost. I don't understand what happened. Honestly, it pisses me off that he, the cheater, made me feel guilty. I just don't know what to do, guys. I tried to text him, but he only replied that his friends would come tomorrow. I'm very upset and don't know what to do. Does anyone have advice? Comments. You don't even know if it was cheating, but apparently, you stormed into the restaurant with guns blazing. He wants to end it, so respect his choice and move on. You can't force someone to be with you. Author, I deserve to know what happened. When I saw them, the girl was crying and he was talking to her. I've seen this with many friends and in TV shows, so I just had a feeling he was cheating on me. He still didn't give me any explanation and didn't even fight for me. It doesn't matter who broke up with whom. What matters is that you're no longer dating a cheater. I should at least know the whole story. I am faithful because even if guys compliment me, I don't do anything about it. I just want to know why he did this. There's too much going on at once. But you should move on. Unfortunately, he is not obligated to give you an explanation, even if it would help you find closure. Ultimately, if someone in a relationship wants to break up, it will happen. It doesn't necessarily have to be a mutual decision. What's most alarming here is that in the comments you constantly talk about how she wasn't that pretty, and that you always joked between yourselves that if anyone was going to cheat, it would be you. There is no reason to belittle this girl. She might not have understood what was going on at all. They could have been discussing a project they failed together, which she was very upset about. She also could have been dating your ex and not even known about your existence. In this situation, there's no reason to trash her appearance. Even if they are madly in love and you are a million times prettier than her, you will soon realize that looks are not the key factor in choosing a relationship. Take this as a lesson. You said you transferred colleges to try and build a relationship with him again, and it took months to convince him. Did he ask you to transfer? If not, and if he didn't ask for it with the intention of giving your relationship another chance, then it turns out you chased him yourself. I don't think you can claim he owes you an explanation just because you changed schools. That was your own decision. He didn't ask me to transfer, I just didn't like my college and decided to give our relationship another chance. It was a surprise for him, but eventually, we started dating again. I feel like I know all his study partners, but I've never seen this girl before. Update. Hi, this is the cheating boyfriend. My ex-girlfriend Becca used my email to create this account, so notifications for every comment were coming to me. I only use this email for subscriptions, so I don't usually check it. She just texted me and told me to check this inbox, So here I am. I'm a bit surprised her post blew up like this, and I didn't plan on commenting, but it seems many of you were going crazy over her antics, so I decided to clear things up. I didn't edit her post because I didn't want to confuse anyone. To start, Becca and I dated throughout high school. At the end of our senior year, she decided to break up with me to explore her options. I was obviously upset because I thought what we had was enough, but according to her, she wanted to go to college without the burden of me. So during freshman year, I made a lot of new friends and discovered new hobbies. When sophomore year started, I felt like a completely different person. I had no idea she was planning to transfer until the day she showed up at my college. Within the first week, she was already making plans to get back together. I told her I needed time, and she respected that. After a while, I got lonely, and I guess her presence stirred up memories, so we decided to try again. She was never particularly possessive or, as some of you said, crazy. She always hated feeling excluded, and I think the reason was that she missed a whole year and wanted to catch up. What she said was true. Guys did pay attention to her, and although she never did anything, she liked the attention itself. And she mentioned it at every opportunity, ending with the phrase, "But don't worry, I wouldn't do anything." I began to realize that the breakup in high school was necessary for her to sleep with other people without guilt. She went to a small college, and I think when the fun ended, she wanted to return to a stable relationship. I admit I shouldn't have gotten back together with her, but I think I was used to that stability too. One of my new hobbies was volunteering at an animal shelter. I usually go there once or twice a week in the mornings for a couple of hours. One of the volunteers, Audrey, is the girl from the restaurant. I only know her from working once a week. I know she's 19, that she likes cats, and that's basically it. On the day of the whole restaurant scene, I found Audrey crying in the break room. This is a private area where only staff and volunteers can go. She was having a breakdown. When she was finally able to talk, she said her ex-boyfriend had shown up and demanded to talk to her. According to her, he was a bad person and partner. She told him not to come near her, but he came straight to her workplace so she would have a public tantrum. I offered to distract him so she could leave, but she said she doesn't drive. Her brother dropped her off and was already at work. I offered to drive her somewhere, and she agreed. One more thing Becca didn't mention, I also work at that restaurant we went to. It was a pretty quiet time, so we sat at a back table so she could pull herself together. She kept apologizing and was clearly very upset. My manager said we could stay as long as needed until Audrey felt better. Around that time, Becca burst into the restaurant. She claims she doesn't remember what she said, but I do. I won't go into details because I don't even want to think about it. Many nasty accusations were thrown my way, and what she said to Audrey was frankly cruel. She went on for a while despite me asking her to stop and only quit when Audrey got up and left. She was already in a distressed state, and after Becca's stunt, she was just terrified. What was supposed to help her calm down and get support turned into a screaming attack by someone she didn't even know. As soon as Audrey left, Becca suddenly calmed down and started saying things like, "Honey, we need to talk." I didn't like that. I agreed to talk somewhere else only because I was afraid I'd be fired and I was deeply ashamed. On the way to her house, I had some kind of midlife crisis. I realized this was the final straw. The whole time we were together, she was obsessed with cheating. She was constantly afraid I was cheating on her, or if some guy just talked to her, she assumed he was cheating on his girlfriend by talking to her. I don't know if it was projection or some kind of delusion, but I realized I couldn't live like this with her anymore. Plus, I was very hurt by what happened to Audrey. I don't know where she went afterward, and I have no way to contact her. At Becca's house, I said I couldn't do this anymore. I'm breaking up and don't want her in my life anymore. I explained in detail that her behavior is unhealthy and that for some time now, everything she does has been exhausting me. Nevertheless, she again accused me of cheating and everything else she wrote about. That was when I told her she was delusional and left. Anyway, I wanted to clear the air for those who are interested. My friends were going to pick up the clothes I left at her apartment, but at this point, I don't even want to deal with it. She can keep it or throw away whatever is there. I think many of your comments influenced her because when she texted me to check the email, she said it was her farewell to our relationship and that she had calmed down and would cooperate. I'm not sure I fully believe that. I hope Audrey will be at the shelter next week so I can talk to her and apologize. Anyway, I apologize to everyone who was upset by the original post. Just wanted to let everyone know that I'm okay and that this incident was resolved fairly quickly.